Mama, tenemos bachiller.
Hi guys, it's been such a long time. It's been such a long time. I'm so nervous. And it's been such a long time. But well, here we go. So nervous, but let's dive right in. So okay. So you know how for the longest time content coming out of Africa has usually been, especially when it's being told by the Western world, most times it's negative stereotypes about life in Africa: famine, hunger, disease, political instability, all of that sad stuff. Yeah, so with the advent of the internet, Africans have ventured out to tell their stories themselves and try to be as comprehensive as possible, especially here on YouTube. Yeah, thanks Google. Yeah, anyway, so for the longest time, most of the happy stories coming out of Africa have been about, yeah. So aside typical happy stories coming out of Africa, like tourism, self-care, recipes big as well. There's so many other subject matters that we can talk about here in Africa. So today's episode is about healthcare in Africa. So obviously the first thing that comes to your head is awful healthcare sectors in most African countries. And yeah, it's no longer the case. Okay, I know we could be better, but I like where we are right now. So today's episode, I will be showing you my personal experience with CT scans, with a CT scan. Yeah, so for the longest time, I have had trouble with my gastrointestinal tract. I have had ulcers and inflammation in my gastrointestinal tract for a really, really long time. So when I was in the mountains, the first half of the year, it got really bad. So when we traveled back to Kampala, Daddy was like, we need to get to the bottom of this. So went to see a family doctor, and so we went to see a family doctor, and he decided to try out an aggressive form of treatment. So I was on intravenous treatment for like about 10 days. never had so many needles enter my body like I did over those 10 days. Yeah, it was tough. And the worst part about it is that after all of those intravenous medication for a duration of like 10 days, I still wasn't better. If anything, my stomach hurt even worse. So the doctor decided to do further tests, further investigations to find out what's causing the pain and inflammation in my gastrointestinal tract. So he wrote me a referral letter to go get an abdominal CT scan. So in today's episode, I am going to share with you how it went. Because when I myself was going to get the CT scan, obviously I was very, very scared. Yeah, I was really scared. It's not happening. Yeah, okay, so when I was going to get the CT scan, I was very scared, mostly because the fact that I had been having all that medication for 10 days and I still wasn't getting any better, and the doctor was requesting a CT scan. I got really scared because I was like, just deflecting to try and cool down. Anyway, so I was really scared because well, the first thing your mind goes to, you know what your mind goes to, you know, if you're asking for a CT scan. Yeah, anyway, so my mind was in a really bad place and I was really scared. I really, 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 really love science. So I was like, if the doctor is requesting it, then we should, you know, get it done. So basically what a CT scan does is it's just an advanced form of imaging. What happens is they'll be able to take multiple angles of your internal organs so that if there's any inflammation at a particular area, they'll be able to see that. So I was super scared and I did not know what to expect because I'd never had one. I don't know anyone that had a CT scan that I could ask for, like what happened, what was it like, and you know, yeah. So as usual, I came to Google. I went to Google, I went to YouTube to try and find people's experiences so I could somewhat. Yeah, so I went to Google and YouTube to try and see if I could find different people's experiences so I could prepare myself mentally, you know, like, yeah. So I could prepare myself mentally knowing what's going to happen. So I checked and I didn't find. Yeah, so a little voice in my head said, perhaps I could share what my experience was like. So in case there's someone else out there that needs to get it done and they're checking the internet for an honest review for what happened, well, maybe this could be helpful. Yeah. So because of the price of CT scans, they are not available at all clinics and hospitals. It has to be a very big hospital or a strictly imaging facility to be able to have the device. So I had to go to one of the major hospitals in Kampala that came highly recommended by my family doctor. Yeah, so I was so scared. First thing I did was go to the internet so I could get like a contact number to like call ahead and ask questions. I have this insatiable hunger for knowledge. Yeah, anyway, so I got the number from the internet and I made a call, and the lady on the phone did a great job explaining everything to me. She explained to me what the procedure would be like, and what the price would be like, the time frame, etc., etc., and the requirements before and on the day of. Yeah, so she told me that since I'm getting an abdominal CT scan, and they'd like to see what's happening in my gastrointestinal tract, the best type of scan would be one with contrast. So it was a contrasted abdominal CT scan. Basically, what that means is that they'll be putting a fluid into your body to be able to get more accurate images of your internal organs. So because of the liquid that there will be, the liquid is called contrast fluid. This reminds me of my early days when I was a child and I wanted to be a doctor, in particular a surgeon. Anyway, so the contrast fluid has to be put into your body, and if you have problems with your kidneys, then it's not advised. So before you get clearance to have the abdominal CT scan with contrast, you have to get a kidney function test. Yeah, the kidney function test will let your healthcare provider be able to assess and see the condition of your kidneys to see if it's a good idea for you to have the contrast fluid or not. So thanks to advancement in technology, thanks to the internet and modern new inventions, there's labs in Africa, in Uganda, in Kampala, that offer home service. So there's labs in Africa, in Uganda, in Kampala, that offer like a concierge service, a home care service where they come to you wherever you are and collect the specimen that they need to run through the test, and then they go to the lab and they have it done, and they email you your results or the requesting doctor so you can go to the next step. Why is the service important anyway? Well, ever since I learned about the service, it's always my go-to. Anytime I need to have any kinds of tests done, I call the lab and they come and they do it at home, and I get my results on my phone. So you know how it can be when you're not well, obviously you're not in a good place in your mind and your body's painful, and then you have to sit through the traffic jam and then reach the lab and then do the test and then wait. By the time you're done, you feel so much worse than before you even left home. So having the home care service helps to at least eliminate that discomfort. So the kidney function test is done using blood. So the lab technician came and collected the tissue sample of my blood, as you can see in the video playing right at the start. BE. BE. Yeah, so I was super nervous. The blood was taken. I feared needles, but you have to be brave. So the blood was taken to the lab and the test was run, and they sent me my results in under a duration of less than 6 hours. So immediately I sent them to the hospital so they could have a look and let me know if I have the green light, go ahead and have the contrasted abdominal CT scan. So my heart was pumping and I was like so nervous. But guess what? Some great good news. My kidneys are fine. And I had the go ahead to get ready for the contrasted abdominal CT scan. So I asked about the procedure of what's going to happen at the hospital when I come, and the payment session and how long it would take, how much time I need to allot for the procedure so I can move my other tasks around, that kind of information. So the lady was very helpful on the phone, and she let me know everything I needed to know. So from the discussions, I decided it would be best if I make the payment the day before, so that on the day of the procedure, I'm not walking like up and down. You know how it can be at big hospitals, like the block for financing and bills is like on the other side of the hospital. And then what you need to do is like on the other side of the hospital. I had never been to this hospital for like radiology. The only one time, the couple of times I had been there was when my sister was having her baby and when one of my friends was having her baby. Yeah, so I had never been to the other departments. I didn't know where they were. So the next day I ordered an Uber and I went and asked for directions and the procedure for what I needed to do to make the booking and make the payment. So I did that, and I asked to be shown where the radiology department was so that the next day when I come, I don't have to walk up and down for hours. Yeah, so the first day, what I did was go to the hospital, clear the payment, and get acquainted with where I would need to be on the day of the procedure. This you'll be seeing in the video next below. So, what happens when you're getting ready for the procedure? They ask you to come in a big bottle of water. You know the big mineral water bottle? Yeah, the big one. That's like 1 liter. And then they ask you to drink just a little bit, which I did. Then some medication is added into the remaining water, and they ask you to drink it over a duration of 1 hour. What did it taste like? The taste was like it wasn't like a difficult thing to drink. It wasn't like sour or bitter. It wasn't like sweet. It was tasteless. It had like a synthetic taste. But it wasn't uncomfortable to drink at all. So they asked me to drink it over a duration of 1 hour. So I tried to drink slowly. Anyway, so I drank the liquid slowly. After about an hour, I was done, and the attendant came to show me around. The radiology department is separate. It's separate from all the other areas of the hospital. The waiting area is separate, so at least you don't have to worry about the discomfort of waiting in a huge crowd. It's literally only the people that are getting prepared for procedures that are in that area. So at the time that I arrived at the hospital, I was the only one that was getting ready for the abdominal CT scan. So I was all by myself in the lobby. The room was cold. The room was super, super cold. So I have an insatiable hunger for knowledge. So I was asking questions all along the way of the procedure. And so for the contrasted abdominal CT scan needs to be done when you're fasted for at least 8 hours. What that means is that you shouldn't eat for a period of at least 8 hours before the procedure is done. So I hadn't eaten for over 12 hours by the time I go to the hospital. And when I go to the hospital, I had to go to the radiology department, as you can see in the video. Because of radiation from because of radiation from the equipment that's used in the radiology department, the CT scan inclusive, it's a restricted area. You have to have clearance to go into that area. You have to enter your biometrics, to get into that section. And if you're expectant, you can't be going into this area. As you can see in the video coming up next. And the medical staff were so kind to explain everything to me in detail. So they told me that the liquid I was drinking was like to empty out my gut. So if I needed to go to the bathroom, I should go. What this means is that on the inside, remember in biology, it says like your stomach, your gut, your gut and then your stomach, small intestines, large intestines. That's what they needed to look at. Yeah. So they needed to be empty so they'll be able to see clearly. So that liquid was supposed to help you clear out anything that was like on the way. So if you need to go to the bathroom at this part, you're allowed to go to the bathroom. So I didn't need to go to the bathroom. I didn't feel like I needed to go to the bathroom, so I didn't. Yeah. So that liquid in the water bottle that's added to the water bottle is to help you like clear out your digestive tract. So after that's done, after the 1 hour is done, now they have to add a cannula to your hand through which they'll be adding the contrast fluid. So I'm not good with needles. That part was tough. It was really tough. Every time I've had to have an intravenous type of medication, the attendant would say, my veins are too small. I had to find a little bit too small. So most times they use pediatric size needles. That means the small needles. So when the nurse was trying to insert the cannula into my hand, it was not easy. It was a tough one. I explained to her what nurses have said in the past and how
let's have a look at the waiting area and reception area. Hi guys. I nervous but trying to be brave. This is a place where you'll be drinking your water. I love that it's super clean and it didn't have that smell like a hospital. You know, the smell of disinfection that makes you just feel worse. Didn't have that. This part, I must admit, I was super scared because I'm super scared of needles. Over here, we see the workstation with the medical sun-dry items. So after drinking the liquid, you get ready for the IV.
Yeah. So I explained to her how nurses in the past have said my veins are super small, and for the best outcome, it's best to use a pediatric needle. That's a small size needle. So she says, oh, well, unfortunately, we can't use that needle because of the liquid that you shall be putting into your arm. So I was like, ooh, so it's fascinating. Yeah, anyway, so she starts looking for the needle. I'm like, it's like really rough. She starts looking for the vein. And it was really tough. So she went to get a device that could help her see the veins better. It's like a red light device. It's about the size of like a phone. So she pins me down and she ties up my hand. You know how they do. And then she uses a device to like help her find the veins. So after a huge struggle, she finally found one and inserted the.
Guys, it was so painful. Piercing my hand several times just to get a vein. Guys, it was really painful. This part was really painful.
Into the vein. It was painful. At this point, my mind is in a bad place, my body hurts, and yeah. But I have to be strong and yeah, see it through. This part was painful. I was like, I think it would be nice to have a nice boy to hold my hand at moments like this.
Fixing the cannula was really painful. It would be nice to have a nice boy hold my hand on this part. So we can see this over here. The cannula was inserted into the vein that's close to the elbow, trying to be brave and strong, but it really hurts.
Anyway, so now the next thing is to walk into the room with the device, as you can see in the video. Guys, so we entered the room. Actually, before we got into the room with the CT scan, we went through the area, the observation area, second observation deck, and the partitioning is glass and it's transparent. And then you have computers over here and screens over here, and the professionals on this side that are going to be like, yeah. So then you go to the front, and inside is where you get to see the CT scan. So exciting. So I got inside and the room was cold. So cold. I think it was like 18 degrees centigrade. And there was the device. Oh, and the room is white. It's like very white. Yeah. And then there was the device. It felt like a sci-fi movie, you know, like what's the movie called? Like Star Trek Enterprise. Yeah, that's what it looked like. There's like the big cylindrical thing. It's like a donut standing, and then there's like a tray. The tray slides into the donut-like device while you're laying onto it. Yeah, it was so fascinating. That's so fascinating. I was so excited, but I had to be well behaved. Yeah. So the technician says to me that I need to take my top off. So I was wearing regular clothes. So the technician says I need to take my top off. Yeah, anyway, so he's like, I need to take anything off that's metallic from my upper body. So you take your clothes off and you wear the hospital robe, as you can see in the video.
I have to take off my regular clothes and then wear the hospital robe. You also have to make sure that you take off all accessories that you might be wearing, wear in the bar. Yeah, so that has to go off as well. Okay, now we're going in guys, so excited. So this is what the interior of a CT scan room looks like. So fascinating. That's the patient table, and the round donut thing is the gantry.
So after you put your hospital robe on, you come to the front and you lay on the tray. Remember the tray that I was telling you about? Yeah, you lay on that tray and then the technician gives you some instructions. So he showed me what I should do during the procedure. There's going to be like the procedure was going to be broken down into like two. Yeah. So he asked me to lay on the tray, flat and straight, with my hands raised like so. like that. So you know the tray with your hands raised up like so. And then they ask you to make sure that you don't move, like you're not supposed to move, so the image can come out sharp and precise. So you're laying there and you're laying straight and your hands are raised over your head. So then he said he was going to the observatory deck and I would be going into the device. So there I am lying on the tray. So fascinated. I'm like, science is so cool. Yeah, so there's like the tray and it slides into the donut. So it's like super, super cold inside there. And the room is like so white and bright. So they actually cover your body, like your lower section, with like blankets, so you won't get cold. So there you are lying on the tray, like so. And then the tray slides in. The attendant goes to the observatory deck in the other room, the adjacent room. Remember the room with the glass wall? Yeah. So then they ask you not to move. So the tray slides into the donut-like device, and then you hear some clicking sounds. I can't really describe the clicking sounds, but you hear some clicking sounds. That's all you can hear. That's the sound of the air conditioning, like ooh. And then after a few seconds, you hear like the sound of some clicking sounds. Yeah. So I was there for about like 10 minutes, and then yeah, after that time, the radiographer that was doing the procedure came back to the room and he pressed like an eject button and I slid right out of the machine. So he says to me that now he's going to apply the contrast fluid and we need to do it really, really quickly. Because what happens is the first section of photos were taken without the contrast. Now they're going to add the contrast intravenously. Remember the IV that was applied to your hand? Yeah. Now, yeah, while you're lying flat on the tray, he comes with injections. There were like 5 injections, and they were so fat. I have never seen such fat injections in my whole life. So he starts applying the liquid from the injections into my arm, into the cannula that was already put on my hand. So he pumps it in like so fast, and when it's going in, you feel like so cold. Remember, the room is cold, and then the liquid going into your body is also like really, really cold. So you feel it like sliding into your body. So cold. And he asked if it's painful. It wasn't like so painful. It was a little bit of discomfort. Yeah. And then you could mostly feel like the cold going through your veins. Yeah. And then he did like really, really quick, like really, really quickly. Like, yeah. And then he said, don't move again. Yeah. So he says we need to move really quickly. He says you're going to do what you did before. Raise your hands up again, over your head like so. Flat, and don't move like at all. Then he says he's going to take the images now with the contrast fluid, because now the contrast fluid that has been added to your hand, through the cannula that was put on your hand, is now circulating through your body. So now they're going to take multiple images with the contrast fluid. Yeah. So then he leaves the room and he starts putting the commands into the computer. And then next thing I know, the tray, remember the tray where you like sleep on, it slides back into the donut-like device. Yeah, and then it's cold again, and there's like the sound, there's like a buzzing sound. I don't know what the buzzing sound is. And then you hear the clicking sound again. Yeah, I was in there for like another 10 minutes, and then next thing I know, I'm sliding out again. The tray is coming out of the donut-like device, and yeah, the radiographer comes in and says, we're done. I'm like, oh, that's it? He's like, yeah, that's it. So I was like, so what did you see? Like, I couldn't wait to hear, like, I was so fascinated, first of all, I felt like I just come off from like a spaceship from outer space. Anyway, yeah, so I asked him, what did you see? Like, what did you see? Is everything okay? And he's like, no, I can't say what I saw or did not see because I just operate the machine. Like a different team of people will actually look at the images and make the report. So yeah, so he asked me to go back to the dressing area and I can take the robe off, the medical robe off, and put my clothes on, and I can go home. And then I can then the procedure, the protocol says that so the protocol says I'll be back the next day to get my report from the doctor.
If you're into earrings, bracelets, yeah.
Yeah. So I get my clothes on and I call an Uber and head back right home. So my heart is like, wow, science is so fascinating. When I was little and I wanted to be a surgeon, I could have actually thought about doing this as well. Well, my mind never crossed it. So I hope some people will be able to watch this video and they'll be inspired to take up a medical career in radiology. Yeah, anyway, so I went home.
Pretty much listen to all the instructions that the professional offers to you.
Says yes. The next day, I returned to pick up my report.
Friends.
So my heart was pumping. So scared. I was like, I wonder what's going to be inside the report, you know? Yeah. So I came and I got my report. Let me show you what it looks like. So, you know the traditional regular x-rays? You know how they have like a black film? Yeah. Also the CT scan has a black film. So you get a big envelope like so. You get a big envelope like so with your images inside and also the doctor's report of the findings. Let me show you.
Friends, let's be kind to one another. Believe it or not, everyone you encounter is going through one battle or another. Friends,
that's what it looks like. There's like, okay, that's my light. There's like multiple frames of like the different parts of the body. Yeah. So I came back and so you get your film with your images like that, and you get a letter. With the doctor's notes. So I got my envelope and I got my report. I got my film with my images and the doctor's report. I was supposed to take this to my doctor, the referring doctor, but my heart was pumping, so I had to open and read. So I opened and I read, and I didn't understand that thing. And so I asked to see the radiographer that had written my report, so he could explain it to me. So he was super busy, but eventually I was able to get some time. I was able to get some time with him, and he received me well and took the time to explain everything to me. I was able to ask questions, and he took me through the whole procedure. He showed me what the images look like on computer. Like he accessed my file and showed me everything, like organ by organ. And I was like so fascinated. I was like, but I had to be well behaved. So anyway, He explained everything to me. I could see my skeleton. It was so cool. Yeah, so I saw my skeleton. He showed me the intestines. He showed me the small intestines. They look like rice. They look like cereal. They look like grains. He showed me my colon, the large intestine. He showed me my uterus. Yeah, he showed me my liver, my kidneys. He showed me the bottom of my lungs. He showed me everything. I was like, wow, so cool. So cool. Yeah. So then he explained everything to me about my gastrointestinal tract. And so he explained everything to me about my gastrointestinal tract, and there's nothing worrisome. I really, really thank God. Thank you, Lord. And he recommended that the next step will be for me to do endoscopy and colonoscopy. Yeah. So I continue to eat fiber. I continue to eat probiotic foods. I continue to eat fruit salads with yogurt to help my gastrointestinal tract. I continue to have a lot of fiber in my diet while I get ready to have the colonoscopy. Maybe I'll make a video about it as well. So yeah, that's it. That's what healthcare is like in Africa. Thanks for your time, guys.